high made. So this is not a degree 3 trend. This is the beginning of a trend, or beginning of what could be a trend, okay? And we expect to reject at this point here. This is the 1, 2, that's 1 and 3. We expect to correct most of this way. You could even see you could and you may not, but you will at least see 1.7 to 136.8, because that kind of correction should take you, correcting the wave 1 should take you all the way down to 38.2% or even 23.6%. It's very important to relate ratios in wave structure. Very, very important, because if when you're doing your homework, later after the trading day, then you can relate if the market the whole is actually bullish or bearish by relating such ratios, okay, together, because they indicate where the market is advancing. So if we're gonna have this wave advancing higher, this is of course in the wave 1, we cannot break it, should not break that point here at 132.6.45. Alright, 136. This is the orthodox way. This is what should happen. Okay, on this kind of retraction, we see we should get out of any shorts by then. It is very probable that we could see a spike also down to 136.3. Alright, top of this point here. So we would accumulate these levels. If we are of course keen on entering the trade, then we will have to get a partial fill higher at 136.90, 137 and 136.70. These are the levels shown here. The trade has good impetus to go all the way at least 139, not up. Okay, so if we are filling 137.10, 136.90, 136.70, we'll be averaging around 136.90 or 3 minutes. Okay, like we just showed on our fib retractions, these levels should be very easy to fill. You can see low on the current correction. Okay, so you should be carrying about 3 minutes, and at 136, 135.90, this is only 2.7% risk at 139 target. Okay, that's that level shown here. This is for day trading purposes. You're doing about $630 in yield, even on a small 3 mini lock position, and it's a 1 to 2 risk rule. Alright, so let's check the pivots too. This is the level we'll try to long in. These are the weekly pivots. Okay, we would hope to accumulate around 136.77, 136.60, 136 of course 68. We would have to keep a stop even below that level. We just checked wave 1. But the market should not, like I was saying, give us lower than 1 weekly pivots. This is the breakout low. If we go below 136.41, we would begin to question if the market is really going to be bearish. Right here is 136, which is 23.6%. It's even 136.45. So like we were saying, this is the last level that should be seen. Okay, if you go lower, it's just the spike to 136.3 or 0.2, and we're off again higher. If we go lower, then the market is no longer bullish, and then it will be detected as a resistance, and we get out there. But we are biased, of course, to see it long. Having done our homework correctly, I hope, then we would expect to buy 137.10, 136.90, 136.70, okay, and be comfortably holding with minimal risk at 2.7% to $270. to $270. Why are we buying at the higher end? Because the market could go up anytime. Okay, so we would want to be filled at this type of risk, because the risk reward on the breakout of an inverted or head and shoulder position is very high, very nice and very good. It will be about 1 to 3 at least, even maybe 1 to 6. So you want to get swing trading this at this level all the way up to 143 and 144. You can see here 515, this kind of 144 here, 50%, right, between the fluctuation high and the band high. This is the band high 143. Okay, should be very easy to make. So we have very good profit potential for this trade, and we will want to get filled. We will not bother very much about filling. That's my take on it, but of course you do your due diligence, and you have to be comfortable. Not personally bother if I get filled at 136.70 or 136.45. Better to be in the trade than not in the trade if it's going down. Alright, we move on to gold. Okay, so like we were saying with gold, this is the weekly chart. We have a signal on the weekly chart. We expect to have a signal, a bullish signal on the weekly chart. We believe that exactly, alright, of this current, we bounce at 50% exactly of this current bullish wave. This would be called the flag mask candle, alright. So bouncing at 50% of it, of course, gives you impetus, strong impetus that the bull trend is very much alive. Okay, so like we explained earlier, this bounce is occurring at a wave 1 signal. Wave 1 signal gives you the reading that the market is going to attempt the last highs made. Okay, so the last highs made are 2010. I believe I remember they were 2074. Okay, so this wave should attempt 2074, even if it does not break above 2084 or 74, I'm sorry. It will terminate below that or at that level and be called the wave B, and then that would strong wave A, that would be a D, and we still be doing a correction C, because the market was not able to move higher given the underlying fundamentals, so given the current fundamentals impacting the market. Alright, but we will not bother ourselves as traders with this. Our important point of focus now is that we know, according to this signal, alright, that the market should be going to 2000 and ultimately 2074. So what would we do? That signal on smaller time frames, segregate the waves, alright, or the swings at these smaller time frames, and enter on positive momentum, strong positive, at least positive, doesn't have to be strong, but enter on strong momentum on the smaller time frames that are coinciding with this signal, alright, and in the right or the retraction levels available using the smaller time frame. To eliminate our risk, make it as small as possible. Okay, on the hourly chart, we have a multiple zero level bounce on momentum. Okay, if you have only one bounce, then you can be in doubt that this is going to break the zero line and become bearish. If you have a double bounce, okay, this is considered a strong signal, because if you can break lower, you'll break higher. You're going now to break above overbought level. We check this bounce here, it's at the moving average 100. This is here is the moving average 200. Alright, so we have of course a strong bullish wave here, like you see, and we expect now to break the bull flag. Okay, classically speaking, technically speaking, we would expect to of this candle here, and this is why someone was acting with gold going down to 1915. We have entries above 1880 and 1890 on presumption that this bull candle can still retract. We'll also to these levels. We will of course, like we keep saying, take only the best markets. We choose the best levels that the market and the best prices that the market will give you. You are buying, you can choose whatever you want to buy. Nobody will force your hand. So if the market will not give you the level that you would like to be invested in, you don't buy it. So we will wait to see these levels and enter the market, give us the minimal risk possible. Okay, like this is the one, this is the bottom of the two, right at 1840. We remember that level. If we're buying at 1880, then we're only risking about $40. Alright, we just consider the small risk given the volatility of per minute lock, given the volatility of the issues of gold array. Alright. So let's go now to trade management charts. We are bullish. This is our impetus. Okay. We could have an intraday bearish trade. We'll take a look at that in a while, but we would rather be on the side of the bulls. We'd rather be on the buy side, and we'd rather be bullish. So this is the count market action. Okay, we are seeing an inverted multiple head and shoulders, and we also have a ascending triangle, This has completed as an Elliott structure now. We confirm we have segregated this in proportion and in. So we have a 1, 2, and that's a 3, and that was a 4 to bounce at the top of 1, and we just did a 5. So the current market is completing a 5. Okay, I think it completed it earlier today, Asia time, and we expect to do an ABC correction. This correction should take us from below 1,938 levels all the way down. It should ideally test at least 50%. We're looking to enter longs at 1,890, 1,900, possibly to see 1,880, very possible. Don't be discouraged because we're 1 here and we're correcting the 5. You could even see lower levels, okay? However, we believe that we should not fall below, or assume that the market should not fall below the ascending triangle. This is why 1,880 could be seen on a ascending triangle, can still tilt downwards to accommodate the price action and incorporate your 1,880. Okay, so we will contemplate to fill the levels, fib levels as shown here. 1,900, 1,890, and 1,895. Okay, we didn't. If you wish, of course, you could add at 1,885. Okay, in that, even if it's just 2 minutes or 1.5 minutes or 1 minute, if you're only adding half a minute at each level, if you fill the first 2 and this one is not seen, you'll be holding 2 minutes. Okay. Our stop is 1,860 here, preferably right below this support here. I would rather take that 1,840. This is better risk management. Of course, you could add more longs as you go down, but you would have to add fewer, smaller size at 1,000, much smaller. At 1,900 and 1,890, but contemplate to add more size as you go down to 1,880 and 1,875, because there is potential to see these. You have here 1,887. Alright, this is the breakout low for this week is 1,877. So our stop at 1,860 is below the breakout low for the week. Should be safe, but gold, of course, is a very volatile issue. And speaking of safety, you are best if you are right below the complete wave structure altogether. Still bullish wave structure from 1 to 5 and at 1,848, I believe, or 47. So you would contemplate to put your stop below. Our first target, of course, is 1,965. This is the neckline, or just above the neckline, okay, here. Of course, once we break higher, like I'm saying, if that was a wave 1 breakout that we're seeing on the weekly chart, then we should just attempt to support above this resistance zone and then fall back to support on it. Okay. Alright, so this is why we should be seeing that. This is why our target is for day traders, and our initial target is 1,965. Don't be greedy. Okay, so 1,900 is even a spike still at the fibs level. so you just do that at the fib. You would, after filling at the fib levels, you would just see 1,364 without these levels here, about 50% for these cycles. We take profit. Okay, this is an introduction. Give you about 1 to 2 risk reward. If you now filling 1,900, I don't know what the market all the way down to 1,880 and 85, then it could have to drop to 1,965. Because of course, if you're going to swing trade this or invest in it as an investment grade CFD, all right, then you would go to higher targets. You're looking, of course, initially to 1,000, I believe 984. This is this week's breakout high, very likely to be seen, by the way. So you could take it an intraday swing trade, intra-week swing trade, all the way up to 1,980. And if you're invested, you're going to hold on until next month after the US elections. You could very well see 2008, of course. Remember that this is October, the high is 2015 in October, given the US election. If things turn sour in the election, there is, riot somewhere, maybe. Then you have to be prepared, okay, and you're already loaded buying gold here at 1,900. You might as well hold it all the way to 2,100 if things are really not very or not politically as desired through the US. Instead of making the smooth transition of power. Okay. So this is the bullish side. Alright, now if you would like to trade that short, let's take a look at market prices first. Okay, so if you would want to trade that short, it's simply you're going to sell these levels, okay, and you're looking to take profit at 1,808. Before we go to the analysis, we have to talk about something here very important about short selling in a bull market. We are now in a fundamentally bullish market, which is gold. You cannot sell just the high. You don't just test selling the high by selling micro lots, and then go in full size once you have a confirmation. What is a confirmation? A confirmation is simply, this is now, if this is a correction, it's going to be an A, B, C. Then if you can have an A, B, C that takes you higher than the market top, and that was an A and that was a B, and then you're going to have an A, B, C, okay? And that was the first corrective swing. All that was just an A. And then you have a B that you should sell. You place your mini lots or micro loss at the end of the week. Now the market would have got higher, then you're going to have a C reaction down. Okay? And this is the one that you want to take profits in and hold. So it is futile to start selling now, please. Okay? If the market goes higher, it's also futile to buy now. You want to buy these levels. 1,900, 1,990, 1,880. Don't buy here, please, and don't sell here. Also, like I'm saying now, if you want to sell this, alright, the right protocol to use, the right way to follow is you must wait for the market to run out of steam, okay, run out of buyers and run out of energy. Alright, this is usually done according to wave structure in 3 swings. Each swing of these swings is composed of 3 swings. So if you're looking at this one, ABC, that's an A, then we have an A, B, C. Higher maybe than this market, nobody knows. That's a B, then we're gonna have an A, B, C again. Lower than this again. Don't get fooled, that's still a C inside wave A. All that now, that is A, B, C. Okay, and then the market goes up from this C, pulling, maybe not pulling, maybe it will go up. Okay, you will know by momentum, if there is strong impulsive momentum, that the correction is finished. X, whatever you want to call it, you call it a B, and that is the wave that you sell in after you see 3 swings. Then the 4th swing higher, you will sell into, Okay, and you can expect then for this to work in your favor and to take profits at 1,900, 1,890 and 1,880. At that point, when you sell into the equity, you can leave your stop a little below the market, above the market high. It will not be spiked down. At that point, also in that B, you can take an Elliott structure, meaning that you can sell into something like this. Okay, you cannot sell into something like this now. This is a 15-minute shot. When I'm saying at wave B, I mean that you expect that this is a 1, 2, this is a 2, 3, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's a 5. That should not rise higher than here. At the end of wave B that we just explained on the 1 hour, you will see this type of structure on the 15 minutes of much stronger negative momentum. Then you know that this is the terminal wave for the bullish market and you should sell pips into it. Okay, but now it is not a terminal wave. It is a very small, okay, alright, and the market itself on the 1 hour has not yet unfolded, okay, into 3 corrective swings and failed to break higher. Okay, alright, so trade wise, if you want to go bullish, bearish, you want to sell, then you would expect to sell, of course, cycle and below the top, the bottom of wave 1. Okay, so definitely 1 here is below 50% of that cycle. Now we reviewed the bottom of 1 here for several times. There's a problem with wave 1 here because there is a candle close and a spike. If you go with the spike, you're looking at 1,937, 1,938. If you go with the candle close, you're looking at 1,040, 43, alright, actually 40. In Forex markets, alright, and in CFD markets, all issues are very volatile because everything is on very low leverage, and you should consider that the actual close, if you're going to work with market swings, is the close. I mean, the actual value today is the close of the candle. Alright, this is not believe that it's better to use the spike, alright, not the close of the candle. Personally, I would expect to see a test all the way up to 1,943, and this is where you sell, keeping your stops if you're using micro lots, that is, above 0.2, okay, 0.2 could take you all the way up to 1,000, no, 0.2 is right here, alright, so that is above 1,960, okay, so let's see how this translates on our entries. These are then the entries we will take. Like I say, we're going to sell bottom of 1. Alright, here it reflects 1,930 and 1,934. This is the level we're selling. Right, like I said, you could expect to see a spike until 1,943. So this is why 1,945 is circled in red. So you might need 1,934 all the way up to 1,943, allowing for spreads. Okay, your stop of course is above 1,960, which puts you at 1,965 right above here. Okay, above 0.2 here, and you are going for 1. Remember that the fibs that we show here, this is 1,900, this is 0.618%. The market may see 1,890, this is where we're going long, and even 1,885, this is again where we're going long. But I would stress to take profit at the very first fib. If this is a correction, then 90% of the time, it will correct to 0.6 to 1.3. I'm sorry, 0.6 to 1.3%. And if you have money on the table, you should not leave. You should just take it in and clear your profits Alright, especially if you are successful in showing all the way up from 1,930. Then you would want to take profits at 1,900 or above 1,896, which is the fluctuation low for the week. It should be tested, like I said, 90%, stick to level of the advance is tested. This is the advance we're talking about, that is 61.2%. And on pivot relations or pivot wise, if this is going to break into bear trend, then the fluctuation low for the week should be tested. Okay, so any drop in prices should test the fluctuation low. So we should see 1,900. So we could, of course, enter very small size in these levels between 1,931 all the way to 1,945. Accumulate very small position all the way down to 1,900. We're out at 1,900. Okay, so you're entering 1,934, 28, 1,943. Okay, if you're filling these levels, alright, half a minute at these levels, you'll be holding 1,960 or even 65. Your target is 1,900. Okay, that's it. If you were a swing trader, or if you were a hedger, and you believe that the dollar will go up for whatever reason, but I'm not sure, then you would hedge shorting gold. Alright, so buying dollars and you're shorting gold, and once price falls down from your entry levels at 1,951 and 1,950, you put a stop at entry, okay, or slightly above, and hold your position all the way down to 1,760. Alright, you're not looking for intraday profits then. Okay, you're looking to hedge your long position. Your long position is dollars. We are of course long dollars too, but we are not holding. Alright, so that's, I think, it for gold. We can now move on to silver. If you have any questions regarding any of the issues, please leave them on, especially gold. Leave them on with the moderator, and we could redo the analysis for gold and sterling. Alright, so just to dissipate any doubts or any questions that someone may have. We could take a few questions before we move on to silver. There's a question about oil. Will oil be going up or down? Oil fundamentally should be going down because of fears of a second corona outbreak. Okay, but you could trade it up and down. Alright, we are actually trading. It's very strongly supported, alright, by hedgers and by suppliers, and from current levels, someone was asking last week if we were going to see below 40 levels. I believe we have seen these today, and if you have shorts, you should be closing them now. Don't hold until 36. We'll look into this with greater detail at oil towards the end of our analysis, but we are long, not short oil, because it's very, very strongly supported on a political basis. There's a question regarding sterling yen. Yes, you should sell. Should I sell or buy? You should buy sterling yen now at the levels that we talked about, which are 136.5, 136.7, 136.9, 137 maximum. If you have shorts, please close them at 136.4 when this level is. There's a question regarding sterling yen, sterling against the Japanese yen, pound against the Japanese yen. Should I buy or sell? You should buy, accumulate a long position at 136.4, 136.5, 136.7, 136.9. Alright. Your stop should be 135.9. Your targets are 139. Your targets are 139. Your targets are 139 for intraday traders. Okay. For swing traders, you're looking at 143 and 140 easily, of course, 143 and even 144. So very good position to get into. Buy sterling or pound against yen if you are short at 136.4 or 136.6. Please get out, close the shorts on the 136.5, 136.4, 136.6. So there's a question regarding nickel. Okay, I checked nickel on the weekend. We're still doing the fundamental evaluation of nickel prices and what's driving them up or down. But from what I saw on the weekend, you shouldn't be trading nickel as a CFD. You should only be trading it as a futures commodity. This type of trade copper. Someone was asking about copper. We also did some evaluation on that. You could trade copper as a CFD, but I would not advise trading nickel as a CFD because the charts I've looked at show that this is a commodity, futures traded commodity, very volatile in the futures market, and you usually buy and sell supports and resistances on a future chart. This is a entirely different strategy or different way to trade than CFDs. Alright, but I will get to nickel and copper maybe before the end of this week. We just have to do our work proper, and commodities do take time to assess all the impact affecting them. Alright. Okay. There is a question about Bitcoin. Will Bitcoin increase to 12,000 today? What is the maximum value for today, please? Well, I'm sorry, we don't do cryptocurrencies. So, as a policy, we don't do cryptocurrencies. I'm very sorry. So, it is a very volatile, and I would really not have an idea if it's going to increase to 12,000 or not. If gold is going up, I believe, and the dollar, then you're looking at gold, when you're looking at dollar weakness across the board. Depends on what's going to happen with the fiscal stimulus this week. What about silver? We're just about to do silver now. Okay, let's move on to that. So this is this daily chart on silver. Pretty much the same like gold. We have double bullish zero line rejection. Okay, on momentum, meaning rejecting once all bearish momentum at zero has been exhausted. There isn't even bearish momentum below the zero line or zero level. Okay, so this is a strong signal to take, and we do remember, of course, that we are inside a bullish pennant. Alright, so we're only going long this issue. If we take that signal, then we are either doing the B, as explained also with gold, or doing a 5. If we do a 5, we'll have to have the strong fundamentals to push metals higher. Gold, silver, copper, platinum, alright, will all go on. Okay, so but this is the fundamental, it must be fundamentally driven. Alright, we already discussed fundamental reasons, US elections, corona pandemic, strong physical package for post-corona economy in the US. It doesn't matter regardless it's a Biden administration or a Trump administration, no problem. We'll all see metals go up, and silver would also go up then to 130 and to 30 and 31. For the time being, we don't have that fundamental, so we just buy this bullish candle here all the way up to 28 and 27 and a half. So we're buying that bullish candle. Alright, okay, so this is what we're looking at in the market. Okay, this is the current market action. We have completed a wave 1, and we're currently doing an ABC correction that should be contained inside that ascending triangle. Alright, we expect this ABC correction to be bullishly translated. Bullish translation meaning that wave B actually is higher than wave 1, and wave C will barely 1.8%. Right, correction. So given these levels, alright, and given the monthly and weekly pivot levels, we could expect to add, or if you're not already go 2280 and 2260, you could now engage the market at 24. This is the entry, slightly above 61.8%. Alright, 23, right above top of one here. Okay, and our target is 2850 all the way up to the end of the pennant of the bullish pennant. We would expect to get some resistance at 2750, but I believe we could spike and then pull back to support. Okay, so for silver, we would consider stop at 23, target 2850. Okay, so these are the levels on the weekly limit analysis, 23.8 and 24.11. Our stop is right below. Okay, we're going to current target of October breakout high at 28.50. Okay, so we can now move on to Euro Yen. Alright, okay, so we've been waiting for this to move lower, and this has now broken down lower. Like I said, the BOJ decided that they're going to put some kind of negative on deficits of commercial banks at the central bank facility. Okay, so this is strengthening the yen, actually. Right? And the dollar is falling against the yen, and Europe is falling against the yen. We all remember, of course, that we are mounting a double top here. Okay. You can look at it on. We are mounting a double top here, and this should break down to 120. That was our initial, and it remains our bias. Okay, and you can see that here on the 4-hour chart. All right. So we expect now to finish correction B. That was a quite strong momentum on the 4-hour chart, and we expect to be topping out. Okay, and so we wanted to buy one. Okay, and so we wanted to buy 124.8 and 0.7 all the way up to 125.2. We're now taking correction leg A of the correction down. This is current market action, we assume. So we're trading leg A down, all the way down to at least 123, maybe 122 and a half. Okay. This is the detail of what we see. Swing, Elliott, move downwards to 123 and a half, and that was the correction that ended in C. The highest made, I believe, is 125.10. Okay, and we should have sold these levels. $124.85, $124.95, $125.05. Our stop is put at 126. Okay. That was the range between 125.10 and 124.40 that we sold into. Our target is 1. Okay, that was since last week, so if that was this week's action. So if you've not already sold these, what you contemplate to do? Market is now 124.40 minutes, and we would now expect to enter market short. We would take that as a trigger, okay, and show the market, right? So according to this, we should use that as a wave 2. That one here. Okay. you're not already short, at these levels in accordance with that advisory, okay, 125.10 and 124.70, we now can contemplate to short 124.70 again, 124.60 and 124.50. I think this is upside down. Right, so you're shorting 124.55, 124.60 and 124.60. That's about it. Your stop, of course, will have to be again 125.10 or 125.20, right above the Elliott structure altogether. Okay, there is a probability, mild probability, that you're seeing the complete structure, and you could test all the way to 125. You just have to, we'll have to keep our stops above 125.10 and above 125.20. We'd rather get in at, like I keep saying, those high levels may not be filled, and the market could, the main trend is down, so the market could fall quickly, and we would not be invested into that. Like to see the lower boundary or the ending diagonal. Price has already broken out of the ending diagonal. And this is where we're going now. 123, of course, here for day traders. Okay, and it's possible to see 122.60. The levels, the fib levels are shown here. Right. You just do the nothing. So you're shorting 124.50, 124.60. 50, 124.60 and 124.70. The stop is 125.20. Okay, you're targeting 126. This, of course, will ultimately see 120, 190, 126. So to take a few questions before we move on. That's it. More questions about Bitcoin that reached 11,600 today. Oh, the question is, will Bitcoin reach 11,600 today? I'm sorry, we will not do Bitcoin. I'm really sorry about that. There's a question regarding Euro Yen. How about Euro Yen? Well, Euro Yen, we should be selling, we just did it, we should be selling 124.50, 124.60, 124.70. These are these levels shown here. So we believe this is our trade wave up from this point here, minimal momentum above below zero. Okay. And we project our dips. We can sell 124.65 to 65, 124.60 and 124.55. We sell these levels. Our stops are at 125.2. Okay. And our targets are 123 for day possible 122.6, which is then 200 points from this counter. Okay, we can move on to the next issue now. The next issue is dollar yen. This issue is tricky because the dollar is weakening, of course, across the board, and we would like to invest in it because of the US election. So I would rather stand down this issue until this correction completes, because the dollar is weakening all across the board. It's of course falling against the sterling, like we just checked today. We could, or we contemplate to long, of course, at such low levels, because we have to be prepared if things work out for the dollar after the election or during the election. Like I've been saying, we will be seeing 111 and 118. So we were hoping to long 105.30 and even 105.10. The fifth of that would these are the shown here, 105.40, these are the levels shown here. We're already seeing lower than these levels, so we're seeing all the way down to currently 105.34. I think it's probable to start testing entries at 105.3 using micros. We have potential to buy into this issue all the way down to 104.5. Of course, you could sell it. I'm only looking at the buy side because fundamentally I'm expecting it to go higher with the US election, but for day traders, we have of course a clear bear trend. That's the 1, 2, and might consider to sell 105.55, 105.65, 105.70, alright, 105.75, that's about it. The stop is 106.20, okay, your target is put to 104 and 103.9. 104.4 is right over here. I remember 103.3 initially. Shorts. That's about here. But of course, if you're going to day trade it, not swing trade it, then you go for the shorter targets. And these are about 80 points down from the entry level, which takes you to 105. If you're shorting 105.7, you'd want to go out at 105 or 104.9. So at more like 104.7 to the 115. So you could consider to short 105.7 or 105.65. 105, 105.25, intraday targets of 105, 105, right, and 104.7. There's a close 104.25. Personally, I'm only going long. Okay, and I would rather accumulate at lower levels. Anticipation that the issue is politically impacted by the Trump election and would drive on election. The solutions and resolve that particular approach on a day-to-day basis will pinpoint which of the levels to enter. It's very important because we now feel it's away from the election. Right, so we move on to the next level. Okay, we now go to the euro dollar. Alright, okay, we are short the euro. We were short the euro last week. The levels to enter today. $1.1850 and $1.1840 whereabouts to 1.18. Okay. So to recap on that has been updated today, right? And we would expect that what we're seeing the market is seeing the fraction, okay, of this multiple head and multiple shoulder pattern, multiple head and shoulder pattern that broke out at this neckline. We're seeing a fraction of that right here. Alright, we take two small shoulders down to test this point. Okay, so what we're trading today is this yellow shaded zone. Right? And this means that we could consider, so there is a divergence, and we could consider to take an entry at the pivot highs or the market highs today and tomorrow. Okay, we expect the pivot highs 1840, 1870, all the way up to 19. Okay, I would not consider that our there's possibility of course to be 19 or 1950, but there is of course possibility to see, you cannot rule it out. Okay, and if the dollar continues to remain weak, then this is what we will potentially see. At the moment, the euro of course is holding against the yen. In anticipation that we have been engaging these levels for the current whole past week, and we do not expect to rise above this point here, that's the one, where we keep resisting. Okay. At most we would expect to spike above it and complete a wave 5 here at 1.1850, right, and then we're down, okay, we're down on our swing trade, What's troubling us on this issue, of course, is that we're still seeing positive momentum on the hourly and 4 hours. So any shorts that we take at the current level will have to be retesting at these levels. Okay, good one. These are the levels that on completion of the drive. 1.45, 1.50, and then you have top out and then diagonal, then there will be yellow C here, and we believe it will be going down. So we could test entering shorts, that yellow C here we just spoke about. We would trade that leg A, alright, maybe tomorrow. If we start testing shorts at 1.1850 and 1.1840, then we can go to full size when the market gives us or shows negative momentum on the 15 minute. Alright. Chop. Our stop would have to be 1.1960. This is right above this right shoulder formation on the belief that the market is weakening, and the next right shoulder should be lower than this one. So we're not above this neckline. Okay, and our target, of course, this is going to be made short price action intraday. Okay, on the short side, so you would want to get out at 50 points or 100 points from entry. So if you're entering 1.50, you're out at 1.60 or 117 or 117.60. If you're entering 1.50, you're out maximum at 117.50. Entering at 1.50, you're out maximum at 117.60. If you're entering at 1.40, again, you're out maximum at 47, probably 1.1707, 04. So we're going out at 50%, makes us at 1.63. At that level, we'd expect a correction or bounce upwards indeed, so to elongate your we'll have to sell the time, then we'll resell again into ground with A here. We'll resell again on 10. Right, now we finally break that neckline, we will have then a double top formation. Okay, and this will be our primary position, long entry. Okay, swing wise and investment wise. We have narrated that scenario several times possible. We expect that the cyclic translation in the neckline, alright, because of this strong weekly movement. This is why the issue doesn't want to go down quickly enough. And we believe that with A has not yet completed. Okay, we're seeing now an ABC correction that should not go below. Okay, preferably not below even the top of internal 1 and 2. This takes us down to 1.14. Right, and we can begin to calculate at 1.1428 to 1.1430. Our stop then will be 1.1350. 1.1350 is right below this 50% of these consolidation supports or these consolidating. Right now, if we are able to buy this neckline, this translated neckline, then we're going, of course, to test again the top of C5, maybe higher, with this massive dollar weakness, and when it is finished, and we'll be off to 1.24 and 1.23 high level. If there's dollar strength by the time of the election, take profits at 120. You can see, of course, 121 in the current data for the current month, alright, and 119.60 this week. If we get a rate lower, right, through this trade all the way down 150 our long level. Which are short with entry 156. Right. So if you're trading this, it will have to be intraday, and it's really very slow action. I would not assume it's I would assume it's not as profitable as sterling, alright, and other issues. It's very slow action, and you will take minimum profits of 80 points or 70 points. You will short the market high, okay, that top of course, with the stop above the last high shoulder vein, the high of the last right shoulder vein, okay, and then you take your target according to our 15, 1770, 1780, and 1760, and 17, and then we curve position by floating again the highs of multiple heads and going down over to the pips of the or to the pivots shown here. Essentially, of course, we're looking for breakout of that ending diagonal, which will take time, so you don't need to get stuck into that. You don't need to get stuck into that issue. You could just follow with us and we'll keep following it on a daily basis. So when there is breakout, alright, we will know on a daily basis and you will get filled. Alright, sure. Or if there's a breakout higher, I would rather stand down today and take a better trade. Or wait for a breakout, we will definitely know because we will be monitoring it on a daily basis. The next move after the next issue after that is this United States dollar against the Swiss franc. We've changed bias on that issue, that is quite important. We have changed bias. Alright, because remember of course that we were going to be long that issue because there were inverted heads and shoulders below that red line. We were at a cycle low, this was the cycle, we were bottoming at the cycle low and about to break, we actually broke above the cycle, okay, and expected to go all the way up to 50% of that long cycle, and then the dollar weakened massively, alright, and this is what we're seeing now. Okay, so that is just showed here. Alright, contact with the cycle support low. So the market rejected exactly at the bottom of wave 1 here. Okay, so this now can be labeled a wave 4. What we were assuming was the breakout above the cycle support, and this is going to be an inverted head. Here, there are some shoulders that broke out above the cycle support, rejected below the top of 1. So this means that this is now wave 4, and 4 should not rise above the wave, above the bottom of wave 1 if this is taking a continuous downtrend. So this has now confirmed that it is a downtrend because of this rejection. It's also of course a rejection and the cycle support. Okay, so we expect to be seeing a broadening formation pattern equivalent to this ascending triangle pattern here, or alternating to this ascending triangle here. And we're still going to see wave 5 down. Okay, projections for this 5 are 0.88 and a half, 89, 40, these levels shown here. What we would get filled into 50% of that flag mask candle, alright, on the assumption that this is the one when we're now going into a trending wave 3 down. There is strong momentum on the day for that measure. Okay. There is also technically whenever you see the root information, when it does strike the baseline, which is down to about 50% of management chart, this is what we've seen. Okay, we would rather wait until we do bounce, get the bounce off out of the baseline of the broken formation, and then show these levels. Okay. So the most optimum level to show by them is 91. Why would we show that? Because by the time we do strike or strike a little below the baseline of the holding formation, which is shown here now, head and shoulder formation, then when we bounce out of the neckline, we should reject below one here. Okay. This is a spike approach, we should reject somewhere at 91.7. Alright, and go down from the power to 5. Right, these are the levels mentioned here. We'll be showing 191.50. Alright, going down to 90 or 80, going down to 98.50. This is about 200 points. 98.50 is right ahead, about or right below 161%. Okay, and doing the wanted to risk reward, assuming you fill 3 minutes at 90. The risk is then at 92.30, the risk is only 200. Very minimal, or 20%. This is where you get time to be right about. It's quite safe. So this is correct, and it is an extended bear market, and we should not break above. Okay, so for Swiss dollar, the United States dollar against the Swiss franc, we will sell 91.50, your stop is 92.30, your target is 98.50. These are for day traders, and for 3 million lots, you're doing about $600 a meal against the 2.4% discount. Okay, we can then move on to our final issue, which is oil. So we were long that issue of those last week. At 39.75, okay, and with the stop at 36.75, the target 44. Our analysis holds for believe that we have bottomed, the market has now bottomed, right, and we are rejecting above the Elliott structure is not yet clear, and as such we believe that we're going to need to see formation. We are of course buying that support wave, right, but this has failed now, so the spike right below the support wave does not close. We would assume that it will not hold. Right, so we'll be going for that support wave. possible that this support wave is still working. Oh, this grocery is also still working. So long as we're not close to go for if not, then we are dealing with that one here. We are dealing with the structure. This is the wave 3, that's a 4 and that's a 5, and the market will test all the way down to 38, which is 7.89. Our stops still have to be below 36.75 as outlined here. Okay, that's it. 36.75 and 36.55. Right? And we're going to 44. We will not show this issue. This is politically supported, like I keep saying, and it will be futile to short it because there will be very strong fundamental support in getting into the market very soon, both in a spontaneous manner, right? And we will not see price linger much below 39 and 38 and $37 for long. To be long, if you are not already engaged, or if you are testing the levels using micros, you could consider to test lower levels with meaning you see 38.60 and 39 and even 39.90. I would test these by buying minutes, alright, and keeping the stop at 36.50, okay, or buying micros and keeping the stop at 36.50. This is of course an hourly chart. Once we begin positive momentum on the 15 minutes. Okay, so like now we appear to be having an engulfing candle. Okay, we would expect once we see positive momentum on the 15 minutes, we would expect this to go higher to 42 and ultimately 44. Okay, and that will be our position. Okay, for oil we're longing levels. Okay. Longing. We were longing before 39.75. You could consider that 39 current levels 15, 38.60, 39 and 37.90. The stop is still 36.50 or 36.75. We would want to use micros to test these levels for entry and go long once we have on the 15-minute chart. Initially, of course, this is what we are seeing and what we actually expect. This will see here.
ਚਾਹ ਪੀਣੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਮਾਮਾ ਵਿੱਚ
ਆਹੋ ਪੀਣੀ ਕਿਉਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੀਣੀ
ਉਮਰ ਭਾਈ ਲੱਖਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਕੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ 10 ਤੋਂ ਮੇਜਵਾਨ
ਕੌਣ
ਉਮਰ ਭਾਈ
ਯਾਰ ਹੈ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ
Process terminated here. Okay. It's a very complex correction, but I believe that is a 1, 2, and that is a 3, and that is a 4, and that is a 5. It's a very good correction. We may have to take it to stop lower. It looks, of course, like a double-headed total pattern or complex-headed total pattern, but we already tested trades in that pattern. It's too strong to break out of the headline, so fundamentally we are long and we will retain our long stance. I believe it is the right one. Okay. We will not go short, of course, as discussed previously, unless we see positive negative momentum on the hour chart. We're just about seeing negative momentum on the 4-hour chart. And we're seeing negative momentum on the hour chart. Okay, so reminds us, of course, for intraday traders, you could want to trade that
क्या करेंगे
short.
आज 11 नहीं हो गए
नेट बंद नहीं हो गया
12 हो गए नेट पे पता नहीं चलना है
And then we should remove.
ऐसे कभी बंद हो गया
हैं
ऐसे बंद हो गया
नेट हो जाना
Okay, so you could short, of course, to a 1450, 1420, and 40. Your stop would have to be 4150, about $1 risk reward, and you would stop with 3770, try to stay above the point. 1 so that will start with just $1.5, so that takes you to 38. For intraday traders interested, so 40, 50, 40, 20, 40, alright. Target is 38, 30. Stop is 41.50. Okay, for all intraday trades, you could short 40, 40, 50, 40, 20, and 40. Your target is 38, 30, 50, about $1.5. Primary for primary trade, we would go long. Alright, we would accumulate long between 39.75 all the way down to 37.75. Okay, for 44 dollars. We stop below. We stop below 36.50. Alright, that brings us to the end of our analysis. We could now take questions. There is a question about silver. Will silver keep down until 24.5 or 20 before it will increase? Let's take a look at silver. We would like to enter long silver at 24, not 24.50. So we expect it to see it until 24 here, 1995, 24, even lower, maybe until 20. That's where we'll maximum, I believe you could see. Below that, I don't think you will see. There is of course potential to have a test all the way down to 22.60, but I don't believe that the fundamentals are there. And I don't believe, according to this wave count shown here, that we will see these levels. So I don't believe we will see 20, but that's my take on it. Of course, I could be wrong. To see 20, you have even to break low. And that just a minute. See 20, you will have to break of the bullish tenor. 20 is around here, so you will first, the whole pipes, trend pipes, going to take out of the parish of this tenant and test the top of one here. On the belief, of course, that you may reject this resistance. Okay. The momentum so far does not allow for this. The wave count also does not allow for this, and the fundamentals do not really call for this because silver will be following gold. Alright, and there has been an extended correction here, which has unfolded into an ascending triangle like you see. Now this is bullishly translated, and the current correction that we have in ABC should bounce at the lower end of that ascending triangle, or at the lower boundary of that ascending triangle, which gives us our maximum low prices that we expect to see for silver at 23. Fine, and when you stop below the mountain low, we have that stop at 23 below the top of 1. That is supposed to go because 23 we are taking stop 22. Safer, and of course very feasible as a trade because you'll be going to 23.
ये दमी परे बना
आज जाऊंगा
Could happen.
आज कर लो मैं तो कल मैं सुने तो चले तो गए चले तो
Unless the day
मैं तो रात में भी आ रहा हां
should be out of the question.
ये
Higher
ठीक
and
है
test
हम
26
इतने दिहाड़े दो तरह वेले हैं हमारा ताज की
cycle.
ये वेरी ज्यादा हो रहा है काम है अभी गप था जाने
Bearish.
हम कोई नहीं को फालतू पे
Bearish scenario, and then at
लगा
that
के दो
level,
वापस लो जिस तरह का लो
go down to 23 again. On the view that this is going to be a larger
हम ये क्या कर रहे हैं
bank.
लगी समूह से
So I would not consider taking shorts at
जांच में करना नहीं
junction.
खास काम पूरा कर
नहीं लबना
मैं लवानू काम
दबाव किथे लवाना
26 up.
सही प्रोफेशनल जानने या
प्रोफेशनल तो नहीं प्रोफेशनल तो होना कीबोर्डां ਦਾ ਉਹ
45 चाहिए पान
Even
70% मिल गया
45 चाहिए एलपी स्पीकर स्पीकर
okay.
सादा
हार्डवेयर ਨੂੰ ਠੀਕ ਕਰ
Analysis.
कीबोर्ड
If you wish to have
ਬੋਰਡ
any
ਨੂੰ
revise
ਹੋਣੇ ਨਾ ਇਹ
बोर्ड ਵਿੱਚ ਬਚਿਆ मैं
ਬੋਰਡ ਇਹ ਇਹਨੇ ਬਣਾਉਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੋਰ ਤੇ ਲੇਕਿਨ ਇਹ ਬੋਰਡ ਜੋ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿਰਫ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜੀ
ओए तो कोई ये तो पता
ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਪਰ ਕੰਮ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੈ
ज्यादा काम होना हमने कोल इथे जेड़ा काम
ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਹਾਂ
ऊपर ਦਾ शीशा बटन खराब हो जाए हां ते एक बटना हो जावे तो कोई चार्जर दल जा मैं शामी गल करनी है ही बन जाए
ਤੂੰ ਕਰ ਤੇ ਸ਼ਾਮੀ 10 ਸ਼ਾਮੀ ਕੋਈ
यार के बंदे की बैठी लगी जो दुकान ही खोल दो बना
ਕਿ ਬਸ ਉਧਰ ਵਿਕਟੋਰੀਆ ਦਾ
ना ना दिन का
ਨਹੀਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
आप शामी जी बटन तो काला थका है ओए ना सारी मिल जाए
ਮੈਂ ਲੱਭਣਾ ਪਿਆ ਕੰਮ ਨਾ
सिंपल
ਪੂਰੀ ਯਾਰ ਲੱਭੀ ਰੱਖੀ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ
कोई आख शाख मार ऐसे
ਸਿਮਾਂ ਬੜੀਆਂ ਮੈਂ ਸੜ ਛੜਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਬਾਅਦ
सिम मैं भी नंबर को नहीं याद विच क्या पाई
ਨੰਬਰ
पता है मारा क्या है
ਨੰਬਰ ਕਾਲ ਮਾਰ
काल ही तो नहीं ना पैसे कौन दे मैं
ਇਹ ਸਿਮੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ WhatsApp ਬਣਨੀ
वो
ਹਾਂ ਇਹ 15 ਯੂਰੋ ਪਾਈ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਦਾ ਪੈਕੇਜ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ
नहीं फिर मैंने पता तो लग गया ना भाई केड़ी है नंबर
ਨੰਬਰ ਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ
तो पैसे किस तरह पास हैं तू भाई
ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਹੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਾਰਡ ਵੀ ਐਸੇ ਹੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਨਾ ਹੋਣਾ
वो दे गन भी बड़ी है वाका गन नहीं
ਐਨ
ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ
ਯਾਦ ਹੈ
Give a profitable day.
वो नहीं मेरे पड़ा
ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ
Right? We have
उन्हीं से मेरे पड़ा ये मैं ही पहना
and look forward to it.
उन्हीं से मेरे पड़ा इब्राहिम ने तो
ये सिम पा है ये कॉल में मारना है
Take care of all the things that are nice and profitable. Alright.
674 नंबर 65
ये टूर का मेहनत करिए हाँ हो जुड़े हैं तरह की नहीं जान तो सोचा जाने कोई खातर मैं तो जानी होगा तू जाना कर दूँ मैं तो
इसे त्रिये तुमने या त्रिया चौथा पंजवा पंजवा पूरा रैक जस्ती वापस जेठ तक के
जेठ में
पंजवे की होना पाइए
पंजवा छमा दो टकने लगे
यार की पंजवे चबी शुरू नहीं शुरू
हाँ पंजवा छमा तो ओ मौसम का हो जाता ना कहीं
रोजे आते ही अपने तो रोजे पीछे
रोजे साक्षे चार
रोजे में मैं ना पंजवे
तो डेरे खड़े हूँ दे रही हूँ मैं अल्लाह है
कद्दू करू
ए उठ नाल जमालू ने
कद्दू थोड़ी
ए हुन शुरू करूँ पता नहीं आज कितने नहीं
है ना ठीक है इसलिए वाकई तो कमरे बाद जो बढ़ा दे सोने की एक बारी
कमरे शमरे बने
दो तो बढ़ानी है एक कबूतरा ने
हाँ ओ चार खुले बनाने टैड ने
बच्चियों ने कहा बच्चियों ने लोड को नहीं खाना है
बच्चे हमारे उत्तर शादी को
आई
ये तो पीने में नहीं लाल
ये तो मारा हो ही नहीं कार्ड देता ही नहीं
कार चढ़ गोल
नहीं
मैंने चढ़ गोल
वो देते थे
कितना दे जुड़ी
मम्मी चढ़ गोल
यार बट ये
पिन बोलो था जो पिन लग गया तो नंबर भी यही है
2901
नहीं दुई बोलो
दुई गेड़ी बोल यही है
दो कार्ड ने
कोई नहीं चार
वो दुआ मिली है चलनी है वैसे
कोई चलना ही लगी हो
73 है ना 47 73 ना लगा तो पुक मारना
बिल्कुल ऐसे नहीं है
बिल्कुल नहीं हुआ खतरनाक थे खड़े नहीं बढ़िया कार्ड है ना
कोई समझ आए आयो तेरे को ये ना पाई नहीं सारी सटी क्यों आपने
चाहिए तो मुझे नहीं हराचो नवी नहीं दसन नहीं मैं कुछ क्या दे लो ना भाई चेक कर लो ना ना कर दो आगे पोक मंगाया हुआ है ना जी 12 10 18 31 47 31 47
कोड में बाहर
मंगना है ओके करो इंटर ए पिन कोई भी ला दो मेरी याद रहे फिर डालो
चल गई
क्या है if you enter in code 9 more times then you will आना में 9 मारियो और मारियो ना गलत तो फिर 9 से नहीं कोई है अगला मारो
फिर पोक मारना
की मारना मैं 860 है
860
570 51
पिन
नवी कोई मारो मारो लिखो 892 971 24
7 बार है
आखिरी रहेगी सर थोड़ी लग रहा
मैं है जरा ना रखा कौन
888
888
656
656
57
वही मारा इन्हें जाने रही भाई ओ जुबरान है
क्या बना रहे हो
इसका वाटा बनानी ओ जुबरान है जुबरान हम बता नहीं वो सुनिए ना
फोन देना
केड़ा
फोन अपना कुछ अपना निक्का निक्का
देखा दे
मेरे यो निकल
632 भाई
बस हो गया डाउनलोड कर रहे हैं
व्हाट्सएप आपको क्या समझ लगे इसकी तस्वीर
अलम मम्मी
जुरान चाय नहीं रखी
क्या रखिए
क्या मान ले रखी है ये ओ सा लगे है भाई
मैसेज आएंगे
कने कने नहीं आए
बड़े गाने आने वाले
यार डेरे ने आई होने मनाफ साहब ने वो नहीं बांधे सी हो यार फैक्ट्री में पैसे खान करूं मैंने नहीं
हर पास कम में नहीं दोगी हर पास कम में नहीं दोगी
ये दुकान में मछली भी बोल रहे हैं कि माल्टा भी सावी
पर फिर भी नहीं होगा